streaming. And am I live? Let me check. See if I can hear myself. Yep, I am live. What's up, YouTube? This is Heartless, and I am back with another video. And today, excuse me, today I'm going to do something different, guys. I know I've been gone for an extremely long time. I'm just now getting back from a crazy illness that I had, and I've been very fortunate to bounce back with the quickness, as always. I'm glad I'm here for you guys. I'm glad I'm able to, you know, give you guys this quality video and let you know what's been going on, you know, behind the scenes, and let you guys know, let everybody know what is Heartless TV and how Heartless TV became in existence. All right. So first off, I became existent for numerous reasons. One of the main reasons I became existent is because I've got tired of, you know, these gaming channels that's out there right now, and I've gotten real tired of people flexing for attention. I've gotten real tired of people doing mad unnecessary stuff for attention and uploading junk just to get a view and clickbait and stuff like that. Now, hear me out. I'm not throwing shots at anybody. I see everybody that get their hustle and stuff like that. But let me rewind time for you guys a little bit. For those of you that are new to my channel, or those of you who've been with me from day one, I've been on YouTube for some time now. I didn't have a gaming channel. I just had a regular account, and I went under the name as Breeze810, which is my PlayStation, my PSN username. Now, I was always in somebody's comment section. This was back, I can rewind time to 2012. That's when I started watching YouTube videos heavily on my phone or on my tablet. Now, some of the guys who I used to watch on my channel, excuse me, damn, it's cold. Like, let me find out I'm coming down with something. But anyway, reason why, let me rewind time. In 2012, I believe it was around that time when I used to watch YouTubers heavily on, you know, on my phone or on my iPad or whatever the case may be. I used to watch a lot of people. Now, some of the YouTubers who I did watch was, hell, fuck it, I'm gonna name some names out there. Review Tech USA, I came across his account. I came across a couple other YouTubers such as Stone Fox Media. You know, it's basically, you know, the big guys, the big people that's out there that got a lot of subs out there. You know, basically the mainstream YouTubers. And I was always the guy in the comment section, oh man, how come you don't make a review about this? Or how come, you know, what's your opinion about that? And what's your opinion about this? But a lot of times, anyway, long story short, I used to watch these guys heavily, and then I've grown tired of hearing, you know, like I tell a lot of you guys, I'm a gamer first, but I'm a Xbox guy. Like, that's my preferred platform of choice. I'm not no fanboy, and I don't sit here arguing with people. I don't go back and forth with people like how everybody else does. But that was just never me. But what I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to tell you guys was that when back when I was on YouTube heavily, I came across these guys that was just always preaching about, you know, one preferred platform of choice, which was PlayStation. And like I said, I'm a gamer, and at the end of the day, I never felt salty about it. But see, and I've grown real tired of seeing these same freaking people that just kept bashing Microsoft for stupid reasons. And like, they would make these videos. I'm not now, I know I named some names earlier, but I'm not just fucking pointing them two out, but it's just, you know, just people in general. And I've seen so many people on YouTube just bash Xbox. Now, this is back now. I don't know if any of you guys have been on YouTube for long, but this was around 2012, right? 2012. So around that time frame, a lot of people was just straight bashing the Xbox, and this was around the time Don Matrick was in charge, and there was, you know, mandating the everything always online and stuff like that for the Microsoft. Now, all these YouTubers was straight bashing the hell out of Microsoft. You know what I'm saying? And it was just straight. It was you even had Machinima bashing, you know, Xbox. You had IGN, you know what I'm saying, on their channel, they was bashing it. You know, just and it was an ass of YouTubers out there as well. I didn't know if Sony was paying these guys or what, and I was like scratching my head. I was like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? If you guys are so-called gamers, why y'all always on YouTube bashing the hell out of you know, Microsoft? And meanwhile, Microsoft makes games. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you guys as gamers, why are y'all complaining? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. At the end of the day, a console is a console. And I understand there is a console war and stuff like that. But at the same time, I do want to see non-biased opinions. You know what I'm saying? Now, I've kept coming across several YouTubers, and I myself stopped subscribing to a lot of these guys because a lot of these guys was just talking in circles and pulling up all these bullshit articles that wasn't really. You see, this is the thing. What people get me fucked up is that they find these articles that's not authentic. Now, what I mean by authentic, they report fake news. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are websites out there that report fake shit. Like, for instance, there was an article that's saying, the Hurricane Irma is going to be category type 6 hurricane. It might be a category type 6. Now, this is just an example, people. Now, first of all, there's no such thing as category 6 hurricane, thankfully. But I mean, second, and then that shit was all over Facebook, and people was feeding into that because they thought that site was reputable, and it was not. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with the gaming community. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really feel like a lot of these guys on here is just biased, and they full of shit because I never see them on the fucking sticks. I never see them on the sticks. And I stay on my Xbox, or I stay on my PlayStation, and I never see none of these guys on, man. They never show their gamer score. They never show none of that. They always in front of the YouTube camera. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they're a walking contradiction, and that really irked my nerves. So that's when I unsubscribed from one of the, a couple big YouTubers. Now, let me tell you this. I was a fan. At one point, I used to watch a lot of Stone Fox Media, a lot of his stuff and stuff like that, but I stopped following him. When I joined YouTube in 2012, I stopped following him around like mid-2012, 2013. And the reason why I did that is because I got tired of the damn flip-flopping videos. One minute he's pro Xbox, and then the next minute he's bashing the fuck out of Xbox, and then the next minute he's still bashing the Xbox, and then he's still bashing it, and then goes back to saying, oh, well, Microsoft is not that bad. I was like, man, make up your goddamn mind, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I stopped subscribing to him. So I was like, man, you know what? He's doing nothing for me, so let me get the hell up out of here. Then, thankfully, other YouTubers called him out on his shit, and it's been recognized, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people call him Stone Fraud Media, you know what I'm saying? But to each his own. I'm not hating on the dude, but at the same time, I'm just saying from my point of view, because I was a viewer first before I became an actual YouTube creator. You know what I'm saying? There is this one guy who did stand up for the Xbox community, and I do got to give him his props. He could go by the name of Next Gen 720, and I still subscribe to him to this day. And some of the stuff I agree with him on, and a lot of stuff I don't agree with him on, but at the end of the day, he's a gamer, you know what I'm saying? I see him, I got him on my friends list, I see him online, he's very active, and he's very active on YouTube as well. But I can't say that to a lot of other people who I watch, you know what I'm saying? I don't subscribe to many YouTubers nowadays, being that I'm a YouTuber now, I don't subscribe to many YouTubers nowadays because I know it seems strange, but at the same time, I just feel like some of these guys that spend too much time on YouTube, when do they have time to get on the sticks? That's my question. And like my message to my viewers out there, if you're watching this video, or you know, if you're listening to my voice, whatever case may be, but whatever platform you're listening to, ask yourself this when you're watching a YouTuber on a gaming channel, and watch how many times they spit out videos throughout the week. If they're uploading 3 videos a day, if they're uploading 2 videos a day, if they uploading too frequently throughout the week, ask yourself, when the time do these guys actually have time to get on the sticks? You know what I'm saying? Like, ask yourself that. You know? Again, I'm not bashing anybody, but at the end of the day, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you spend majority of your time making these videos about arguments and stuff like that, how do you have time to play games? Where do you get this gaming footage? You know what I'm saying? Like, where does this shit come from? But anyway, back to me and myself and I. After I came across Next Gen 720, I came across other YouTubers as well who are, don't get me wrong, who are, you know, tolerable to watch, like Red Dragon. I watch him as well. I used to watch him a lot. I subscribed to him, but he recently said some things on Twitter that I did not agree with. But other than that, I still watch his content. His content is pretty good. It's pretty decent, and he's not biased at all. And it's dope. You know, some of the stuff he says, I can, you know, agree with. Yeah, like I said before, I disagree with a lot of stuff he says, especially on Twitter. But, you know, a lot of these. But my main thing is, if you're watching somebody, to point out a fraud, and you know, to watch somebody authentic, and you can tell when somebody's authentic is by not just looking at their gaming score, but just to, you know, add them and see how active they are. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of these YouTubers, believe it or not, you know, they don't say it on YouTube. You know, they obviously, YouTubers tell you what they want you to know. But a lot of these guys who spit out all these videos throughout the day, 9 times out of 10, they don't work. They don't have a 9 to 5. They don't have a job. They rely on YouTube for a living. That's why they spitting out all these goddamn videos. So if they doing all of that and they editing all these goddamn videos, what time do they have to play the actual video games? So if you don't have time to actually play video games, your whole opinion and your whole channel is fucking null and void. And I don't care what anybody says, because at the end of the day, that's like preaching, but you doing the whole opposite shit. That's like you going to church and you preaching and you doing the whole opposite shit. You know what I'm saying? You pimping people and you doing all kinds of stuff, and it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It really is crazy. And I just feel like a lot of these YouTubers nowadays are really hypocritical, and I just feel like a lot of them is full of shit, because I never see them, you know what I'm saying? Not just me, I'm just speaking for myself on what I see. You know what I'm saying? I never see a lot of these guys on, you know what I'm saying, I see them interact on, you know, social media and stuff like that, but a lot of these guys, I just don't see them doing anything as far as for the gaming community, but creating more havoc, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, I really feel like a lot of the things that that's happening in the gaming community right now, yes, I really feel like it's toxic. And the main reason why I feel like it's toxic, and it's so much crazy. What's the word I'm looking for? It's so much crazy arguments and stuff like that. Like, it's a big war in the gaming community, from, you know, just ranging from the console people and the PC people. Now, I shot everybody out for whoever that plays PC and, you know, use that preferred platform of choice. But you have a lot of these guys calling people console peasants and stuff like that. Like, that shit is so unnecessary. If you are a true gamer, why does it matter what the fuck, what you know what I'm saying, what people play? Like, I just don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? So as I was growing, as I was, you know, with YouTube and reading the comment section and watching all these YouTubers preach and, you know, hearing how everybody opinions and thoughts and hearing all this bias shit and, you know, seeing all this stuff, I'm scratching myself in the head like, yo, what the hell is going on? So, you know, and I said, you know what? I had enough of this shit. Well, the last straw was when I came across, I can't remember, I think it was Stone Fox Media or it was Review, I can't remember which one of those guys. I just remember it was one bullshit video I seen, and it was straight bashing the Xbox, and I was just like, man, that is straight bullshit. So that's when I said, you know what? I'm putting my foot down. I'm gonna step my game up. I'm gonna get the equipment that I need, and I'm definitely joining YouTube, and I'm definitely gonna get my voice heard because I got tired of the bias bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like I just got real tired of it. You know? And yes, for the people that's in here right now, that's watching me, I appreciate it. This is Heartless. This is uncut, uncensored. This is raw. This is straight facts that I'm spitting, and I'm my straight opinion about it, on how I felt about the whole situation. So a lot of you guys don't know where I came from, and you know, and like what the fuck is Heartless TV. So first off, I called it Heartless TV because I felt like I wanted to. I'm this gaming heartless individual. You know what I'm saying? That just speaks my facts and just blatantly just tell you how I feel about certain things, but at the same time I'm not biased. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get such and such and such is like for instance, being that I'm an Xbox guy, right? I'm not gonna sit up here and keep praising the Xbox, even though if something bad Microsoft did, I'm gonna call them out on their shit. Yes, I'm gonna do that. Now, I would be super fake if I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? I would be super fake and be like, oh, well, yeah, they did that, but at the same time, you still such and such, everything is still good, and I still love yada yada yada. No, I'm not going to do that because that's fanboyism, and that's just, you know what I'm saying, that's just leading blindly. Like, of course I'm going to call them out on their shit, just like I call Sony out on their shit, and I call anybody else out on their shit, including Nintendo. Hell, I'll call the Nvidia shield out on their shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a gamer, and it just doesn't matter what platform I'm on. I just love video games. You know what I'm saying? So that's why that's why I joined YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly why I decided to get my voice heard, because I got tired of the fake controversial bullshit. And there's a lot of people out there that's getting paid for you guys watching them. Don't go to their videos, people. Don't go to their ads. Don't give them ad revenue. If you do click their video, watch that shit on your computer with Ad Block Plus. Straight up. Don't give them no type of finances. Don't give them no type of bread. Don't support none of these son of a bitches. Don't Patreon none of these son of a bitches. Don't support, like I'm telling you guys, man. The people that's on here 24/7 is never on the sticks. I'm telling you. And I've seen it. I've seen it too many times. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it so many times, man. And like I said, I'm not taking shots at nobody. And I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not calling nobody out. But I'm just saying the stuff that I seen before I became a YouTuber. I got tired of that shit. Everybody and their mother is begging. Everybody and their mother is, please support my Patreon, please support this, please support that. Everybody and their fucking moms is begging on YouTube because they don't want to get a fucking job. I'm telling you, nobody wants to work. And I'm just calling it as I see it. Everybody is begging on YouTube, but don't want to get on the sticks. You know what I'm saying? You get the same energy that you use begging people for money to watch your shit. This is the same exact energy you need to use to play on your fucking console or your PC or whatever the fuck you rap. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. This is Heartless, uncut, unraw, straight up, and that's exactly how I feel, man, because I'm fucking tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing it. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys got to stop supporting that nonsense. Here I am, only at 140 subs, going strong, and it's a huge improvement because my last video that I dropped, I only had 110 subs. 110 subs, and I love you guys. I'm not milking no money out of you guys. I'm not begging you guys for no money, and I'm not making bullshit content just to get views. I do it because it's a hobby, and I do it because I love the passion. I love it. I love it. You can hear it in my voice. I'm hungry. I love it. I love video games, and I love talking about it, and I love sharing my information and my opinion and views about it to you guys. I'm not looking for profit like most of these guys are. And like, I don't understand. Like, at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with asking for some help for your equipment and your, good quality videos. But at the same time, don't overdo it. And at the same time, actually interact with your followers. You know what I'm saying? Interact with your fan base, Now, this is a series, for those of you that are just joining, this is a series that I call More About Gaming. Reason why I call it More About Gaming is because too much in the gaming community, it's too much corporate talk in the gaming community, from what I see. You know what I'm saying? It's too much corporate talk, too many people worrying about the corporation tweets, too many people talking about what's going on with the stocks, the finances, and the money aspect of things, and the transactions and sales numbers and stuff like that. It's too much of that going on in the gaming community. So I named this show called More About Gaming. And when I have a guest on here, I'll be like, hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to More About Gaming. Welcome to the Mausoleum. I call this the Mausoleum. Straight up, this is the Mausoleum, because everything gets talked out on the table that revolves around gaming, not corporate stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, having said that, oh, what's up, T Reaper? I see you. I see your comment, man. I'm gonna send you that link. I'm gonna have you join us. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to let you guys know how I felt about a lot of stuff that's been going on from what I've seen before Heartless TV existed. You know what I'm saying? So everything that I'm talking to you guys right now that I'm mentioning, I see it now, but mostly I seen it, as it was occurring before I became Heartless TV. I was a Breeze A10, and I was always in the comment section of all the, the big YouTubers. I was, let's see, when Red Dragon had 40,000 subscribers, that's when I was on here. Now he had 140,000, right? So, yeah, I've been on YouTube for some time. I just never made a gaming channel. If I would have made a gaming channel when I was around the same time that I started watching, I would have a whole lot of subscribers. I would probably have close to, I want to say a whole lot, like 6 figures, but like them big vloggers. But I would probably be at like 40K or 50K if I would have made a gaming channel. If I would have made a gaming channel around the time I did, since I joined here. But that's how I feel, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to let T Reaper in to let him, so I can hear his opinion on how he feel about a lot of these PC guys, because a lot of these PC guys are out of control nowadays. A lot of these PC guys go overboard nowadays, and I personally feel like PC should not be compared to consoles. It should not be compared to consoles, because for what? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you compare? Why should you compare a gaming rig to a console when there's pretty much no limit? Like, that's just dumb. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me, and that's how I feel about the whole entire situation. But I'm gonna start this series. I'm gonna start streaming this series every Friday around 10. I'll say 9:30, 10 o'clock. And it's called More About Gaming episode. This is episode 1. You know what I'm saying? I got the More About Gaming idea from, I know it's going to sound funny and corny, but I got that from the idea of it was from Adrian Broner, whoever watched boxing, when he got his little series called More About Billions. So, I mean, I'm a gamer, so I call it More About Gaming. And that's what I want to see. I want to see gaming news. I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm trying to promote. You know what I'm saying? That's the movement I'm trying to get out there, because it's just too much corporate talk. It's just too much fanboyism. It's just too much of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit up here and bash something just because I don't like it. No, it don't work that way. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I got my boy Reaper in here. Reaper, what's up?
Oh, what's up, man? I'm enjoying your little speech. It's actually quite educating. I can illuminate some things that you are pissed off about, if anybody cares to know. Before I go any further, I just want to say anything I say that comes out of my mouth tonight is an opinion. It isn't false. It's actually fact because I've actually experienced it, and I'm actually good friends with these wonderful people that live off YouTube. So it's like it's kind of funny, but you are right to a certain extent. Most of these people that that upload 24/7, most of them, such as Crap Gamer, he reuses footage more than a hooker reuses sex. I'm sorry. That's just more that's just Crap Gamer for you, and that's basically what he does. Next Gen, he is so active, and he legitimately does all that thing. The thing is, he sucks. and I'm not joking, people. I'm being dead serious. If you don't believe me, I legitimately raped him on Halo with like 8 other people. And it's just thing. Now his gear skill, I don't judge because I don't play Gears for multiplayer, so I don't judge that. So, but I am telling you that the Godfather, he brings a lot to this community, and he's done a lot to help everybody. But don't always judge people by what they say, because that's not always the case. Because I could be a serious talker, but you wouldn't necessarily know what the hell I was talking about unless you actually watched the footage that I gave you. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's always that controversy. And most of these people that talk that good talk, they can't back it up with skill, and this leads to a whole bunch of different scenarios. Either they're too old, their reflexes are gone, they don't play multiplayer, and they're on Xbox anyway, which is really dumb. They support Xbox but don't support Microsoft in their endeavor to bring wonderful PC and consoles united. Which is what Phil and Mikey Barra have been tweeting about, have been basically hinting at for the past 2 years, and it's slowly coming to form. And I bet within the next 5 years you'll actually see it fully happen, if they keep going the rate that they're going down this road that everybody hates so much. Now, you asked why the PC people are like off hinge. I like the YouTubers such as Portorock and the other YouTubers that don't include PC in their evaluations, because anytime a PC guy wants to argue that PC is better than consoles, the first thing they say is, well, my PC can beat your console. Well, that would make sense if I gave a damn. If I gave a damn, that would work. But see, so the people that don't give a shit are the ones that you can't convince that PC is better, because they like the simplicity and the actual plug and play of consoles, and it's always going to be that way. Doesn't matter if you're a Sony fan, doesn't matter if you're Nintendo, doesn't matter if you're Xbox. To them, the consoles will always be simpler than a PC setup. Now, you could, for all the PC, guys out there who listen to this, you could go with me toe-to-toe for hours trying to convince me that PC is better, but I don't believe that. I have a PC. I don't use it for gaming, but I have in my youth, and I can tell you that consoles do last longer than your regular PC because there is more aptitude to it. And then you have the big arguments. Well, Live is free on Windows, and you can play multiplayer for free on Windows, and you have to pay for it with Xbox Gold or PSN, and that's because you're paying for security. It's not because you're paying for the multiplayer, the network. It's not that you're paying for any of that. It's the fact that you're paying for simple security. And on PC, people, we have something called an antivirus program. You might want to get it on your computer because that does the exact same difference. But I kind of agree. And then at the same time, you got to look at it from the people that make a living off of doing this stuff, because some of these people are really knowledgeable of what they do, because they legitimately play video games for their channel, and solely only for their channel, just to like you said, just to get views, and just to just get to where to raise awareness. Like some of these people that do this like constantly, they are really good at what they do. But then there are the the demographic that is the reverse. They talk the good talk but don't show the product, which is kind of really annoying. So it's like you'll have some COD fanatics that will talk about the new COD, but the first thing you see on their screen is Black Ops 3. So it's not the new COD footage. It's not the previous COD. It's the previous COD before the previous COD. So it's like, if you're gonna talk about a subject, at least show content of what you're talking about, because then people will get more enthused and more, and more excited about what you have to bring to the message of the video. Right. And some of these people, they're not corrupted by greed, such as the Patreon concept. And some of the Patreons are good causes, but I feel that if you have to ask your fan base for money, you're technically not doing a good job of supporting your own habit by yourself.
Right.
So I feel that if you're gonna ask for Patreons, cool, but make sure they know that they don't necessarily have to do it.
Have to do it, right?
They don't have to do it. Like, you're perfectly capable of funding your own hobby yourself. You're fully capable of playing the games by yourself. Because that's the first thing that pops to my mind when I think Patreon. I'm like, oh, he's just asking for charity, and and I understand the reason why the Patreons are becoming such a big deal. It's because the ad revenue on YouTube is horrible. That shit is garbage now. But but the Patreon's not really the way to go, and especially if you're going to raise it to such a price. Now, I could see $5. I could see $1, but you have these people that are like creating these ridiculous Patreons that are like $50 for the full package. So I'm like, what the hell is going to drop you $50? Like, I just don't understand that. But it's kind of funny because you do see people doing it. So it's like, do you really believe the wonderful Patreon speech that everybody gives? Because I personally don't, because I know these people personally, and I know they're fully capable of doing it by themselves. But they just want that extra revenue. They just want that extra money that they're not getting off of the YouTube ads. And then some are like the complete utter opposite of what I just said, and they have the money, they love their money income, and they just do it for an extra, just for the extra cash. So it's like, they're fully aware of their financial situation. They can afford everything. They don't need that money. They just ask for the Patreon just to be an extra, to see who's willing to donate and who's not. But the whole thing with the why would you compare the consoles to PC? Because it's more, what Microsoft is doing is they want to bring both of those sides on one platform. They want to make it so that PCs and console and Xbox console gamers live together in harmony forever after. Now, that sounds ridiculous when you say that, because the PC people and Xbox people hate each other more than you see Sony and Microsoft people hating each other. Yeah. But because Microsoft first tried Sony with that, and Sony said no. So the most obvious choice now is to do it with themselves on the PC market. And then that would work if they had a decent way of doing it. The most decent way I could see them trying that is if they just bought Steam. You buy Steam, you practically own the most valued thing that is basically beating you, because every time a game comes out on PC, it's automatically beat up by Steam or by Origins. Or even Amazon, it beats it. So it's like you can't really compete with your own market unless you're actually targeting the right section of that market. Right. And I think the most logical explanation to do that would just to purchase Steam. Purchase Steam under Microsoft law, and then anything that sells on Steam is automatically profitable to Microsoft. But that would cost them I think close to $4 billion. So it would cost twice as much as Minecraft to do that. And Steam has been around for quite a while, and it's got quite an actual following. I used to use it back when the Counter-Strike Global Offense was the first strike back in like early 2002, but then I stopped using it because I stopped playing PC. But it's just like, I think that some of these big names deserve recognition, and then some don't, because you can honestly see where the footage is coming from. You've seen it before, and they just recycle it more than a regular recycle bin. It's just it's funny, but it's kind of but sometimes these people really do have 9-to-5 jobs, and they can't find the time to actually play the games. And then the kicker is like the most avid people that actually beat these YouTubers to it are the ones that don't necessarily they don't make money. They just do it for fun, and they legitimately do it just to see who finishes first. And I count myself one of those people. I actually beat everybody to Destiny 2 this week. But I beat them with the most time played, but I did not beat them with my with the story completion, because I had to wait for a friend to finish it with me. But I did beat everybody with time consumption. So I beat everybody that way, but I didn't beat everybody with power level, and I didn't beat anybody with the story. I was like the fifth person to finish the story on my friends list. And of course, once the story is over, you see all these people that are already done with it. Like they all pop up on your screen. You're like, wow, that was a lot of people. So it's like, you know, but it's just like, I feel that the way that everything is going is like, some people don't want to evolve into the next big phase of gaming year after year, and just want to stick with the game that they know and love. And then some people like myself like to evolve every year and play the new best thing. So that's just, you know, that's just what I personally think. But again, these people are nice people if you actually talk to them, and they, you know, they have a point of view that is, you know, that does actually work. But in the hindsight, if you actually try to competitively beat them, you'll just kick their ass.
Right. And shout outs to you and Halo, man, because I seen your gameplay of Halo, man. You was fucking people up with that shotgun. I don't know how the hell you do it, but you was fucking people up with that shotgun. I was like, holy shit.
And in that shotgun match, you had K Mega, you had Zaire in that shit. You had everybody that is notable to actually kick their ass, and it was funny as all hell because Zaire he legitimately finds people like hotcakes on Gears, but he can't find a Halo team to save his goddamn life. And it's hilarious because I'm like, I wanted to, because he never liked first person shooters. So when he's like, oh, I'm starting to play Halo, and I'm like, really? Ooh, let me think about this. I gotta record this because it's gonna be funny as hell if I post it.
Man, you was fucking people up in that game, man.
Yeah. I'll give him credit. He does decent with fighters and he does decent with third person. But you put a first person shooter in his hand, the guy, like he says, he has he has carpal tunnel syndrome of like a 70-year-old guy, and it does show. But I think his other content is what people like to listen to and what his personal opinion is. But you know what?
I don't mean to cut you off, but you know what? He was actually one of the first guys who I found, like, when I first joined YouTube in 2012.
There was no one else.
There was nobody else. Everybody was pro Sony, and everybody was... And everybody was pro Sony.
Yeah, that's how I found
it. It was crazy.
But the funny part is, like, I was watching him for at least 8 months before I approached him in his comment section because Halo 5 was coming around. I was starting my own YouTube once I figured out how everybody does it and stuff, because I wanted to get my personal view out there. And he's like, I'm looking for someone to help me through Halo 5 campaign. And I was the first one that did it with him, and we did it over a span of a month. Now anybody that takes a month to actually finish that campaign, you guys are on serious drugs, or you legitimately have a really bad job. So and to put everything in like hindsight for you, Halo 5's campaign will legitimately take you under 4 hours if done correctly. So the fact that it took a month for us to finish it was kind of disheartening to me. But then 6 months later, after I had gotten used to the whole YouTube gig, there goes Beastfire. So it's just like it was a good start. It got him to know me. It got him to understand my point of view, and we've been best buddies ever since. So it's like it's kind of nice. But I've met a whole bunch of interesting people through doing this. And some are really cool people. Some are kind of like the some of the ponies are actually kind of fun to talk to, even though they have a different point of view than you. And then the PC guys, there's just no getting around the PC guys. It's like talking to a brick wall. You can't reason with them. You can't debate with them. It just doesn't work. So I don't necessarily agree with what Phil is doing, but I think in the best sense of company wise, I think he has a vision, and that vision will actually make it through the next generation if he does it correctly. But the problem is Microsoft doesn't know how to do anything correctly anymore, so that's kind of the problem. And the big cause to that is either Phil Spencer or his boss. So it might it could be budgeting cuts. It could be the fact that Phil Spencer values more single player over multiplayer right now. It could be the fact that he hates third party deals. It could be a whole bunch of these different things, but when you see Mike Ibarra and both Phil Spencer tweeting, PC games up the ass, you got to know something is in their head that says we got to combine Xbox Live and Windows Live together under one ecosystem, under one society, and then we will practically rule the online world. that's how I see their vision, and I think that vision, you know, a lot of people don't like that vision because they're like, well, whatever happened with just Xbox? Because the whole point of the first Xbox was to get everybody off of PlayStation and everybody to recognize a second party that could basically control that living room. And I personally say over the last 15 years, they have accomplished that goal. But now they're looking for the next big goal, and that biggest goal, I think, to them is actually ruling the online space. You know, they've established that they can make a mark, but now the biggest thing is, can they actually, you know, continue doing it? Because you have a whole bunch of you know different, you know, situations with, you know, with Sony, with Steam. You have a whole bunch of these situations that control the online community, and, you know, I think Microsoft wants to grab the biggest piece of that and control it.
Right.
But, you know, does that technically diminish the Xbox brand in any way? It depends actually how you look at it, because if you care more about first parties and not so much the online piece, then yeah, I can kind of see how you would say that. But if you look at it from Xbox Live as a whole and like the evolution of the next ecosystem, I think it sounds kind of interesting. As long as you can control the balance. If you can't control that balance, you're screwed.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that biggest balance is tipped over by mouse and keyboard. You know?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Yeah. If they can't find a way to control that, you're basically screwed.
Mm-hmm. Because you get your ass kicked going against a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Like, and there's very rare occasions where, you know, you would legitimately need to have, you know, really, really horrible reflexes to lose against a controller if you're using a mouse and keyboard. Mm-hmm. You would have to be horrible.
Even with a modified controller, like, it's still kind of hard.
Even with the Scuff or Elite, it's still pretty hard to do, because the mouse and keyboard is automatically faster.
I remember I used to play Crimson Skies on High Road to Revenge on the original Xbox, and I was playing that game with a modified controller. A lot of people don't know this, and the reason why it was homemade modded. The reason why I want to say it was homemade modded because it was one of those controllers that had the turbo on it, you know, with the turbo button on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that way I could shoot a single shot weapon automatically. But anyway, I modified that by I had to actually get a knife. I know this sounds dangerous as hell, but I actually used a kitchen knife to take out some of the plastic around the joystick, so that way I could be able to turn sharper. You get what I'm saying? This is old school now. This is old school.
Yeah, this is before the joysticks were metal.
Right, before the joysticks was metal. This was back when the joysticks was actually plastic. And I actually cut a real wide, big circle, so that way I could turn faster, and not only Crimson Sky, so I could turn my airplane faster, but I was also able to turn faster on Call of Duty, on first-person shooters as well. So I could be able to turn like within not even a second, like a blinking of an eye. And I used to fuck people up with that.
Now with that Elite or that Scuff, you can legitimately do that in less than a millisecond.
Right.
Because the sensitivity can be put to broken.
Mm-hmm.
It legitimately goes that high.
Mm-hmm.
But like I just, you know, I wish, you know, the drama will never honestly stop. That's kind of what drives everybody's, you know, ambitions. Especially if you look at some of these troll channels, that's what drives them to do. That's what drives them to do content. They love trolling people, and they love making response videos. They love stirring up that drama, even when no drama exists at that point in time. Because you know what, it's an exciting video, and you know it gets views. You know, that's one reason the multiplayer podcast is so popular and people love it, is because you get those hardcore drama moments that are in those shows that just drive everybody insane.
Like that one guy you guys drive insane. Y'all got a #1 fan. His name is Truth Hurts. I don't know if you ever seen his ass in the comment section, but he's always in the comment section debating with his PC, talks.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, we got a couple PC guys on Halo's Discord, and my God, you know, arguing with them is so hard. But you know, it's not a true PC guy because he does own everything. But you know, he always will tout that PC is better than console. He'll always do it, you know, unless there's a certain game that's not on PC. Mm-hmm. But it's quite fun to listen to, have those debates with those sections of gaming, because it's like, well, you know, the first thing the PC will say was like, well, my PC's CPU or GPU is better than your consoles. I'm like, I don't give a shit about PC, and then they automatically just lose.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to not care. But you have to not care.
You got to not in order for that to work. And my thing is, in order
for that to work, you have to not give a shit about PC, and that's very rare nowadays because most people like the most advanced technology, and most people love PC because it's always light years ahead of console. Yeah, it's just like while the consoles is touting 4K, PCs is almost at 8K.
8K, right?
Yeah. So it's like it's like, and then that I don't think consoles will ever truly catch up to PC sections unless PC takes a 10-year break. If PC took a 10-year break, console might catch up, but I doubt it. But it's that Titanfall 2 with the Xbox X that could go 6K, but the console can't the TVs can't resolution 6K, only monitors can. So they had to build that 8K monitor, and then that's how you actually get 6K. But that's kind of light, a decent couple, at least a half a decade across from us where we sit right now. But it's just like the PC is always more advanced, but it's just like if you care about if you care more about playing on PC on consoles more than you do PC, you have got nothing really to worry about, because the third parties, even if Microsoft doesn't fund them, all third parties will always come to Xbox, because that's basically how they make their money in their off seasons when they're not releasing first party. And Phil Spencer is not that dumb not to know that. He just doesn't like paying for it. So all that exclusivity deals with COD and all those other things, he doesn't like paying for it unless he knows it's going to be returned investment.
Right.
So, but that's just what I personally think. I mean, I think that I think in this day and age, especially in the world, in the economy and the government that we're under, we gotta find some way to entertain, if not just our fans, but ourselves as well, because it's it's a shitty world we live in, and unfortunately entertainment is the only thing we have left to entertain.
Exactly. And I wanna have like I wanna have more. I want to do more of this series, and I want to call it More About Gaming. I want to do more like each Saturday. I don't know if you'll be able to make it each Saturday. Saturday. Each Friday. I want to say Friday evening around like 10 or 9:30, 9:45. We get on here and we just straight go off as far as as far as gaming talk. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's PC or whatever, but
yeah.
It's
the problem is most of the times I work Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
No.
I those are the days I automatically work. Like the only free day I honestly have in my head right now is Tuesday. I told this to Saltiest Gaming too. Because he wanted me to continue coming to the Sunday shows, and I'm like, I can't. I'm on vacation, man. I actually can't do it because I always work weekends. So it's like it's either a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night, and that's pretty much it.
Got you.
But
and I'm gonna tell you this though, I'm never going to join Halo if you're on the opposite side of the team. I'm going back the hell out.
Well, you don't have to worry about that, because shout out to my boy Jimmy, because he tried to get me to play Halo today. I'm like, nah, it's Destiny 2, man. It's Destiny 2 for the rest of the month. And then that comes Shadow of War that comes out the 10th, and then there's the Assassin's Creed and Wolfenstein that comes out at the end of the month. Then the beginning of November is COD. I can't wait. And then the X is launched on the 7th, and then Battlefront 2 is launched on the 17th, I believe. So
much greatness coming out, man.
So much greatness. So maybe in December I might go back to playing Halo, but at least for the duration of this season, I'm not I'm focusing on all the newest titles first, and then see what happens. But like I legitimately stayed up for 20 hours straight for Destiny 2 on Tuesday.
I hear a lot, but you know what? You're not the only one that says that. A lot of people spend a lot of time on Destiny. I never played Destiny yet, but I might be looking into getting in Destiny 2. Let me ask you this: do I need to play Destiny 1 in order to understand what's going on in Destiny 2?
It's just more of a fun backstory if you do, but in 1 month, basically Destiny 1 is going to become completely worthless anyway, because they're taking the raids, the strikes, they're taking out the vendors, they're taking all that stuff out of Destiny 1 and putting it permanently on Destiny 2. The only thing you'll be able to do with Destiny 1 is just play the story, but the story is garbage compared to the second one. And the second one looked gorgeous. Like even at 1080/30, it looked gorgeous. Like it was beautiful. You can tell they legitimately tried their hardest to make it look like a real linear story, and they did a really decent job. And you know, the fact that it was it turned out to be a 20-hour grind, with story and leveling included, was just, you know, was just insane. Like I don't even want to imagine what, you know, Shadow of War which is a real grindy game, and I don't even want to imagine what Assassin's Creed Origins is gonna look like, because that's another grindy game. So I'm kind of but I legitimately stayed up for 20 hours, like 20 hours just to, you know, run through the first, you know, boost of Destiny, and then I still have 2 more characters to do, and I still have to grind for achievements and stuff. But the achievement list is rather shorter, and it's more multiplayer based than the first one was, which is the only bad part about it. And then of course they didn't stick with the formula from the beta, so it's basically a Destiny 1 formula with Destiny 2 rules in mind. So it's back to being an unbalanced piece of crap. But you know, I guess you can't ask for everything from Bungie. But what they're doing with the Destiny, how they're moving everybody to Destiny 2, I think shows real balls. I wish Microsoft had the balls to do that at the beginning of this generation, just knocked out 360 servers and made everybody switch. I wish they had the balls to do that, because if they did, they would have a lot more people moving forward faster.
Right.
And my friend said it doesn't work that way with consoles. I'm like, no, not really. It just depends on what you're trying to, you know, make people upgrade to. You know, it does work that way, because if people feel they have no other choice but to move on, they'll move on. You know, they won't keep playing a dead situation. And the problem with Microsoft is they let those servers sit there even while they were touting their new product, which I don't think they should have done. I think they should have gotten rid of the old product, because it was out for 8 goddamn years. 8 years, people. Like, please move on. Like, I think that shit is dead. Like, and every time I visit my friend now, he's got a 360 Slim, and I just want to take a bazooka and blow that shit up. I'm like, please move on to an X, an S, or you know, even a default Xbox One. I would be happy, but please stop playing 360, because that shit is no longer relevant.
Yeah,
you know, the manufacturing is gone. I mean, that shit is gone, and the only way it lives on is through backwards compatibility. Right. And that itself, I think, is still too nostalgic for people, because they won't buy any of the new titles. They'll keep playing the 360 titles over and over and over again. So you got, you know, when you're trying to promote a new product, you got to give the consumer a reason to try that new product. And you know, more times than not, it's when the consumer feels they have no other choice but to move on. You know, and you know, most of the time that does work. And I just wish Microsoft would understand that and just move on from backwards compatibility to the 360 servers. The problem is, I think, is if they got rid of those 360 servers, some of those backwards compatible might not work, because some of them you actually have to activate your 360 thing through an actual 360. Sometimes it doesn't work otherwise. So sometimes they have to, you know, those files have to be kept on a 360 for them to transfer over. So maybe that's, you know, what's basically holding them back. But I really wish they would just do away with the old gen and just embrace the new gen fully. I mean, games have already done it, but you know, you can see Microsoft is still holding on to that big portion of 360 that they should just let go.
Yeah, they need to just let that go, man. Lost cause. Like, I mean, if you don't got an Xbox One by now, then I don't know what to tell you, to be honest with you. You know, I mean, I know there's a lot of people that has it real tough financial wise, but god damn, man, the thing been marked down to like.
I saw one for $230 when I was, you know, when I was looking for Destiny. So, and that was just an S. Like a used S was like $230.
That's what I'm saying.
And then like on eBay, you can get an Elite controller for $80 instead of $150. Like there are ways to get the affordable product to your home. But I guess, you know, in a way, you would have to have the internet setup required, and some people don't have that. So that's the other bad thing about it. So maybe they want to keep the 360 there for people who don't have the decent enough internet to afford the next generation. But I think eventually that they let that internet, you know, rule slide with this iteration. I bet next iteration they're not going to do that, because they, you know, I bet if everybody was, you know, connected, you know, and basically needed that internet to basically function, I think that you know, not only would it, you know, be more in tune with what they have to do with ruling the PC and Xbox Live online community, but it would actually show that they weren't afraid to basically let it go. Because I think Donnie Matrick had the right idea when he did that to the Xbox One. I was still going to buy it even if he did it, because I have no issue with being online 24/7. I don't have a problem with that.
My damn cell phone needs to be online 24/7.
Yeah, cell phones have consistent internet basis. Just do that to an Xbox. But they were too afraid of the backlash, so they got rid of the always 24/7 on. But in reality, they didn't necessarily fully get rid of it because you still need internet for certain functions.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't get rid of it fully. They just got rid of the 24/7 mandate that everybody was so afraid of. But because everybody was like saying, well, what if I'm on vacation for 7 days? What if I'm doing this? All this kind of stuff. So I can understand those reasonings. But I think Xbox is becoming more and more of an online service-based system, and if you don't have good internet, just don't buy it.
Right, just don't buy it. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't even recommend it.
There's a system for everybody who has this situation. It's called the PlayStation 4. Go buy one if that's your case. Because you don't need internet to actually function that.
Yeah, you don't. And I really wouldn't recommend anybody getting the Xbox, trying to play themselves and go on Xbox Live with less than 50 megabits per second, man, because that shit's going to drop. You know what I'm saying? It's going to drop, especially if somebody else is watching Netflix.
You need at least 100 over 30 is the lowest I'll recommend people to have. But because some people will have like freaking 20 over 5, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And I'm like, are you serious? Like, you gotta be joking. Like, that's horrible. Like, what do you live in, Puerto Rico? My God, that's horrible.
Right. Cuba.
You live in Cuba? You live in Italy? Come on, that's just horrible. Like, and like he's complaining that the game takes like freaking 6 hours to install. I'm like, no shit, Sherlock. You have 20 versus 5. I download that shit in 30 minutes with my internet.
For real.
So it's like no duh. That those are the things you have to be aware when you're like basically purchasing the next Xbox. Is like how much internet is it going to take to install an actual 4K game?
Right. And like I was telling a lot of people, like, all right, for those of you that because like you always said, gaming is a very expensive hobby, and if you're thinking about upgrading to the Xbox One X, well, you're gonna have to realize that these games for that console is going to be bigger in size, which means you're going to need a better internet connection. You know what I'm saying? Better speeds. You need more speeds, or you're just gonna be sitting there waiting for hours. You know what I'm saying? For days, possibly.
Yeah. And the discs automatically install faster than digital. So, because you got to remember, when you're downloading it from digital library, you're downloading it from the Xbox Live service. Now, imagine millions and millions of people downloading that one digital content at the same time. That's what slows down the download, because so many people are taking that content at the same time. That's why it's always good to pre-download that shit when you first buy it digitally. So on the night that it comes out, you don't have to worry about installing it. You might have to worry about an update or two, but that's pretty much it. It's already on your hard drive. You don't have to wait till the day of to install it. But that's just like common sense etiquette for Xbox One users. And then the other big issue is the hard drive space. And I've told since the day I started my my YouTube channel, I made out some pretty common sense things that you should know. Like, if you don't have a big enough hard drive just on the individual hard drive that the system has, go get an external. The external space supports up to 16 terabytes. I think you'll be fine there.
You'll be more than fine.
You'd be fine with just 3, because I can manage to fit over 100 games with just my 3 terabyte, and I have 2 of them. So it's like but it is a very expensive hobby, and if you can't afford the hobby, please just don't start it.
Don't start it.
Yeah, just stick
to the games on the cell phone, and nothing's wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Just stick to games on the cell phone.
Just look at Pokemon Go. Nothing's wrong with that.
Right? Yeah, exactly. There you go. You need internet for that though.
Yeah, and you also need a decent GPS worker.
Right, that too. Shit, but I'm getting ready to head up out of here. For my viewers out there, I appreciate you guys watching. Reaper, I appreciate you joining. Thanks for letting me know your input and your opinions and views, as always.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, it was funny because I was just playing Destiny, and then I saw you go live, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what this guy has to say. So I was listening to it for like 5 minutes. I'm like, yo, let me in here. I gotta talk on this because this thing is funny. You know. And again, I have no hard feelings against any of the people that I associate with. But sometimes you gotta see how they perform rather than talk, because sometimes they talk the good things.
They talk, but
they can't perform,
right.
And that is 80% true of everybody that you come in contact with.
And it's not just gaming neither. It's with sports too, because they'll do the same thing. Oh, I'll bust your ass in basketball, but once you get on the court. You don't know what the hell you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that in everything, man. And it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, but I respect those creators that not only can talk a good gaming sense, but they can actually show it in their footage. And that's always what I try to do. Mm-hmm. Like, not only do I have something nice, something intelligent to say, but I also can show that I back it up with really decent gameplay. And the moment that stops being the case, I'll have to find some other way to entertain than just, high KDs and decent kill streaks. But, that's also what the montages are for. So that's the other thing. And some of those montages are really, really decently created, depending on who you watch.
Facts. And that is all facts there, people. This is Heartless, and I'm out of here. You guys have a blessed one. This is Heartless over and out. Peace.